Hi, I'm Tommy from Foxtech, and I'm here today to talk to you about ransomware. There's a few things I'm going to cover briefly. Firstly, I'm going to cover what is ransomware. Then I'm going to cover how does it get onto your system. And then lastly, I'm going to cover what does it do when it's actually in the system? What is the impact? Now, at Foxtech, a lot of our clients ask us what actually is ransomware. And ransomware is a term that gets thrown around a lot, but what it actually is just a type of malware, which stands for malicious software. And the main purpose of ransomware is to deny you access to your systems and to steal your data for financial gain. Now, ransomware has been around since the 1980s, but has become particularly pervasive in recent years, with cybercriminals having access to advanced tools and encryption methods. And what's especially worrying is the fact that these cybercriminals have shifted their focus from the large enterprise to small businesses because they view them as softer targets. So we've covered briefly what is ransomware. Now let's have a look at how it can actually get onto our systems. There's a few different ways that it can get onto a system, and one of the most common ways is via phishing emails. Now, phishing emails will typically have ransomware attached to them, or it will be a link to a malicious website which will download the ransomware onto our systems. And these emails are crafted to look like genuine articles from legitimate businesses such as Microsoft, HMRC, or even the Television Licensing Authority. And then secondly, not as common but still happens, is via unpatched vulnerabilities in the systems itself, such as older versions of Microsoft Windows which haven't had the updates installed. And then lastly, what is less common because it's incredibly targeted is via pluggable media, such as USBs, CD-ROMs, which have the ransomware actually on them and they get installed on the system. Now, all of these things collectively are what we refer to as attack vectors. And let's have a look at what happens when they get onto our systems and what an attack playthrough looks like. Let's start with a timeline. And we've already just covered it, but first off, we're going to start with ingress. The ransomware is going to find a way onto your system via one of the attack vectors we just covered. And then once on the system, step 2 is the ransomware is going to begin what's called a recon phase. It's going to start to map out your systems and your files and work out how it can inflict the maximum amount of damage. So once this is complete, step 3 is the ransomware is actually going to start encrypting all of these files that it's just mapped out, ultimately denying you access to your system. And now, once all these files are encrypted, what will usually happen is step 4, you'll be notified by the cybercriminals that they have control of your system and they'll demand a ransom payment. And this ransom payment will be typically in the form of Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency that is anonymous. And what I will say as a word of caution is if you do make this payment, that the ransomware doesn't always go away. It will decrypt the files, but it will lie in a dormant state, ready to repeat this process at a future date to get more money out of you. Now, so we avoid this timeline, let's have a look at what we can do to try and protect against it. So our advice is that it's always far cheaper to put sensible security measures in place ahead of time. And here at Foxtech, we subscribe to the defense in depth approach, whereby you put multiple layers of sensible defenses that reduce the attack surface. Now, what do some of these defenses look like? Well, firstly, we're going to have some email protection, and that's going to try and stop the phishing emails from getting through to your users. Then we're going to have advanced endpoint protection that goes far beyond simple antivirus. And then we're going to want to have a secure, patched, managed network boundary, typically using firewalls. Then we're also going to want to have control of our endpoints and what our users can do on them, so they can't actually install applications from untrusted sources, which could put the ransomware on there. And then lastly, while not directly a defense itself, one of the most vitally important is the use of off-site backups. So if ransomware does manage to compromise your system, that you still have a copy of your files in a safe place. And remember, it's vitally important that both you and your IT supplier understand the challenges they face, because cybersecurity is an ever-moving target. Hopefully this has been useful, and if you want to find out more, then just get in touch with us here at Foxtech and see how we can help.